Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. Today it's time for round 2 of the best men's winter designer fragrance of all time tournament 2020 edition. You guys voted for each of the first 4 matchups in this tournament, and today I'm going to be telling you guys which fragrances won and what the matchups are for the semifinals. Let's jump into it. I'm gonna go ahead and mention this a couple times during this video, but you guys need to vote on these matchups. They're gonna be in the community tab of my YouTube channel. It's gonna be posted there right as soon as this video goes live. So after you watch this, go there and cast your votes for the fragrances that you think deserve to be in the finals. As I mentioned before, these are designer fragrances, and really the only thing that we're looking for here is which of these are best for winter. Which of these fragrances do you think you yourself would prefer to wear in winter? Let's go ahead and get started with the previous matchups and the winners that are moving on. The first matchup was between the number 1 seed, Giorgio Armani Code Absolu, going against the number 8 seed, Mugler Pure Malt. I love both of these fragrances. I think that they both should be able to move on, but unfortunately, they can't. This one had 6,500 votes cast. The winner won by 20%, so it wasn't really that close. The winner with 60% of the vote was Armani Code Absolu. Kind of a bummer for Pure Malt, really, because Pure Malt was also in the fall tournament, and it also went out in the first round there. Sorry, Pure Malt. And that fragrance is gonna be going up against the winner of the number 4 seed versus the number 5 seed. The number 4 seed was Tom Ford Noir Extreme. The number 5 seed, Emporio Armani Stronger With You. Not Stronger With You intensely, just Stronger With You. This one had 6,300 votes cast, and it was closer. It was 55% to 45%. So did it end up being Armani versus Armani? No. Tom Ford Noir Extreme was the winner. So that means in the first semifinal matchup, we've got the number 1 seed, Armani Code Absolu, going up against the number 4 seed, Tom Ford Noir Extreme. I guess let's really quickly go over these fragrances, and actually, color-wise, these match up pretty well. I mean, it has more of kind of a champagne gold as compared to this just straight up gold, but these look pretty good side by side, I gotta say. So first up, let's talk about this one, Armani Code Absolu. I've talked about this a bunch on the channel, and lots of other channels have talked about this one as well. This one, I absolutely love, I adore it. It's got a strong similarity though, or a strong resemblance to Armani Code Ultimate and also Armani Code Profumo. Really not a huge surprise considering those are all flankers in the same family, the same line. This one has tonka, vanilla, suede, and green mandarin as some of the notes in the fragrance. Has this really nice effervescence to it where it kind of sparkles and jumps off your skin. It's got this nice, sexy sweetness to it. Lots of versatility here, tons of mass appeal. And that one actually for me is an improvement over Profumo. It is not quite as loud, doesn't last as long, doesn't project as far as Profumo, but it's actually easier to wear because it's more refined. Not quite as aggressive as I mentioned, which makes it easier to pull off. And it's going up against Tom Ford Noir Extreme. And between the two fragrances, I would definitely say this one is the more unique of the two. This one has kulfi, it has rose, it has vanilla, it's got cardamom. This one, as far as designer scents go, is kind of off doing its own thing. Not really trying to impersonate anything, and not super close to the other fragrances in this line that came before it, so it kind of differentiates itself a bit from how Code Absolu goes about things. This one, fantastic for evening wear, great formally, just a really super solid fragrance. Off the top of my head, probably my favorite in the line. So there's your first matchup, Armani Code Absolu Noir Extreme. Will this one have enough juice, have enough power to upset this one? That one's up for you guys to decide. So there's your first semifinal matchup. Let's go ahead and go over the other 2 winners that moved on. That way we can talk about the second semifinal matchup. Up next, let's talk about the number 3 seed, which was Dior Homme Intense, going up against the number 6 seed, which is Bulgari Man in Black. This one had 6,800 votes and was not close at all. This was the most lopsided matchup that we had. The winner, with 69% of the vote versus 31% for the loser, Dior Homme Intense. So the number 3 seed, Dior Homme Intense, just absolutely crushed Bulgari Man in Black. Dior Homme Intense is one of my favorite fragrances of all time if we're talking designer fragrances, so I'm happy to see it move on, though Bulgari Man in Black, very solid also. And it's gonna be going up against the winner of the final matchup, the number 2 seed, Azzaro Wanted by Night, going up against the number 7 seed, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. This one had the most votes, 6,900, and the winner won by 10%, 55% against 45% for the loser. The winner here, with a big upset, L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum, the number 7 seed, taking out the number 2 seed. So far, in the short amount of time that we've been doing these tournaments, that's the biggest upset that I've seen so far. Number 7 seed taking out a number 2 seed. That means the second matchup is against these two, Dior Homme Intense against L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. Obviously, this one, L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum, I'm gonna say is probably the underdog. Well, obviously, in terms of seed rating, it is the underdog, but it did just take out the number 2 seed, so whatever. Dior Homme Intense, as I mentioned, one of my favorite designer fragrances of all time. I think it smells amazing, fantastic formally, great performance, great evening fragrance, very gentlemanly, very sophisticated, very refined. It's got that wonderful iris note. It's a little makeup-y, a little lipsticky. Some people are not gonna like that because it doesn't come across super masculine, at least not traditionally masculine, but it smells so good. It also has ambrette, lavender, cedar, vetiver, just an amazing smelling fragrance. Absolutely fantastic. And this one also absolutely fantastic. L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum is likely my favorite from the entire lineup, especially if we're talking about fall and winter kind of cool weather fragrances in the L'Homme Ideal line. It's got almond, it has cherry, it's got vanilla, tonka, spices, just so good as far as pulling compliments goes, if that's your thing. Also fantastic for evening wear, just like Dior Homme Intense. This one, a very good matchup. And the winner of this one, number 3 seed against number 7 seed, will move on to the finals and take on either Code Absolu or Noir Extreme. So there are your semifinal matchups. Go ahead and vote now. It's on my YouTube page, community tab. Go there, click on who you think should win, and we'll see which of these 2 fragrances makes it to the finals and wins as the best men's designer fragrance for wintertime 2020. And then that fragrance will get retired to the imaginary Gents Hall of Fame for tournament winners that you guys chose. It's a good name. And by that, I just mean the fragrance that wins won't be in future tournament videos like this so that something different can win. 3 of the top 4 seeds have made it. Azzaro Wanted by Night did not. Interestingly enough, a lot of love to get it into the tournament, and as soon as it was in, it was like, no, actually, no love. This one deserves it though. It's a good fragrance. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. Go ahead and go vote, and also leave a comment below and let me know which of these 4 you think should win. I'm not gonna tell you which one that I think should win, because I don't wanna, influence things or anything like that, but I've got some sentimental favorites. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.